All right, this is our squash patch. Looking like it's fading a little bit. Might be a time thing or a heat thing, we're not sure. But we've already harvested 50 pounds of squash out from it. Here's one of the maturing squash here. Here's another of the varieties. Here's the hybrid. Then we got a bonus over on this corner over here. There's this guy growing, and it looks like to us that it's a melon. We're not sure what type, but we'll find out. And the basil I put in this bed is doing pretty well. There's better basil for sure, but that's pretty healthy. And then just kept the amaranth around. It's been fun to look at. All right, so this is the tomato bed. You can see it's not terribly healthy. It's still been struggling. I've restarted my fertilizer on it. So I'm putting this on it every Saturday. And that seems like it's helping because the soil is just not as good. We also kind of have a constant pest. Something's eating the tomatoes. It doesn't get trapped in the squirrel cage. So we did see some mice. So there should be some mice attacking. This is a little too big for mice though. So probably mice, and then maybe a raccoon or possum. Something's on our property moving stuff toward the east. So there's something that lives near our property that's just scavenging it every night. Hopefully we can set up a camera and find it. All right, variety update. The vivacious hybrid is setting even in this warmer weather, which is really nice. So that is actually looking like a variety I will choose again. Likely the initial issues were due to soil and not the hybrid. Early girl, doing all right, but starting to cool down. A little bit of disease on the back leaves. So I'll probably look for an improved variety of this for next year. Yeah, and just make a bed with cover crops over the winter. All right, Valencia's done pretty well. Again, all the tomatoes are starting to, they're kind of stopping because of the heat. They aren't setting tomatoes. It's not doing as well. It's got some leaf curl. I had some blossom end rot. It's kind of acting funky. Again, soil for sure, but just not quite sure what's going on with this one. As you can see, again, we've been harvesting tons of tomatoes for the last month. It's been the peak season, but there's not very many on that one. There's a couple on this. So the main tomatoes are decreasing for now. Hoping to find a high heat tolerant variety. I found one. We'll try it next year. All right, we have our cherry tomatoes over here. They're going pretty well. Again, Isis Candy in the corner, just not producing. Not going to try that again. People like the taste, but there's no production value in it. This one is doing okay. It's the Palladino, but this is just kind of soil problem. This one's never been so unproductive for me, so that's been a little frustrating. This one's been solid. Clementine just produces. It's in the high 90s here, and you can see it's still getting fruit on it, still setting fruit. Yeah, look at this. It's got flowers. It's got fruit. I don't see any recent fruit. Oh, maybe a little bit right here. Yeah. Some down there it looks like, not dropping the flowers. So, very robust, like in Clementine. And then Santa Orange, not enjoying the heat as much. There is some little fruit on there. There's a slight lull in my fruit right now, but it's been pretty constant. A little bit of dieback down below. Need to do some pruning. Cabbages here looking really good. We've got our little baby cabbages working on it. Yeah. Right here we have our atomic orange. You'll notice it's really short and it's not doing very well. So I'm not sure if obviously it's a new bed, so that may be a soil thing. But we did find, let me zoom in, this. So last year it was squirrels. I don't know if it's still squirrels, but something's stripping all the corn. So this is the first one. I haven't seen any others. Hopefully this doesn't continue because I've got a lot of corn here. So to provide contrast and look at the whole bed, this is the atomic orange from Baker Creek. And this is the Montana maize from Dave Christensen. So much taller, about 5 feet is where it's looking at, which is what it's spec'd at. And then the corn itself, you can see here, really strong growth, really big corn. I'm really excited about that. Looking really good. And then these, for some reason, these have all been kind of yellow, so I've been kind of putting some fertilizer on them. They're acting a little strange. But yeah, you can kind of see, we've got a tomatillo peeking through there. Just letting him do his thing for a while. Probably kill him soon. Yeah, that's the different ones there. Tiger in the back. Setting some strong beans there. Beans there. More beans. And then we definitely have a crossbreed. These are all bush. That is not a bush. So we definitely got a cross here, not sure what. But that's exciting. I'll save those beans separately, see what they come out as. This bed's pretty much done. I'm gonna replace it with a bed box soon, shift it over. This is by far the best bed in the garden. You can see the Kentucky pole beans. Looks like they're about 10 feet up already on that pole. Super strong, massive leaves. And you can see the rest of the green growth looks really good. Let me zoom in here. We got some Swiss chard still going. Some young ones from the old chard stayed under the growth. We have basil here. It's just a really healthy basil plant. This is the healthiest in the garden, which tells me that this is the healthiest box in the garden, which is good to know about. We'll be doing lots of greens. It's escaping. It's trying to escape everywhere, apparently. And then my proudest thing in the garden is this guy. So, looks just like a normal bean. However, this is supposed to be a bush bean, and this is the only one that came up of the 6 that I planted that I crossbred. And the exciting thing is this. You see how it is down there, and then it's got this guy. So this is definitely not in line with its normal growth. And the flowers down here are all setting beans at the same time, kind of like a normal one. But it's got kind of a half and half situation. So this bottom part acts like a bush bean. However, you can see up here, it's got little ones, and then you hit flowers, and then you hit buds, and then you hit premature buds, and then a growth tip. And that's all indicative of a pole bean. So this is definitely confirmed a crossbreed. I've successfully crossbreeded. I've successfully grown the plant. And if I can get the beans from this, we'll get to see our first crossbred beans, and we'll get to plant them. And so the F1 will be all the same. So I just needed one plant. The F2 will be a little bit, it'll have the widest variety. So we'll want to plant out every single bean we get from this plant. So the beans here are critical because you can't redo them. It's one time. And this is the cross between Southwest Red by UC Irvine and Rattlesnake pole bean. So excited to see what that comes.